Hi everyone, welcome to me ranking all the movies I saw this year. I saw a lot of good movies this year, and one really shitty one. Rather than listing my movies from my least favorite to favorite, I've decided to split the movies into three categories: bad, the really shitty ones, or the ones that are just unenjoyable, solid, and excellent. Also, spoiler for the films I talk about today. So, without further ado, let's begin. Let's start with bad movies. Oh, I forgot to mention, um, that the order I talk about these movies in category is just the order I saw them in the year. It has nothing to do with one movie being better than the other. Alright. Anyway, the first movie in the bad category is Death on the Nile. This movie both my biggest disappointment of the year and also the horniest movie of the year. Just watch the dance scene in the first 10 minutes of the movie, and you'll understand why. It's the horniest movie of the year. Um, I love murder mystery films. I loved Murder on the Orient Express. I know people were a bit about it, but I really enjoyed it. All the actors were fine in it. Kenneth Branagh, I'm really struggle at pronouncing his name. Kenneth Branagh is great. Like, I love his work as a detective. I know people are a bit about him, but I really enjoy him. The biggest problem with this film is the first hour of Death on the Nile spent not on the Nile. They take so long to get to the boat that half of the film is a snore fest. Like, that first hour is just a chore. Like, you set up your characters, you get to the place. A movie I'll talk about later does that. While Death on the Nile, you're just like spending all this time in Egypt hotels, and you're like, get on the fucking boat. It doesn't help. It also doesn't help. There's a lot of obvious bad green screen. Like, it's really noticeable and it's really bad. Once on the boat, however, it's a solid murder mystery. It's just unfortunate that the second half of the Death on the Nile can't say the incredibly bad first half. Yeah, the first half was just horrible. All right, the next film and last film in this category, the bad category, is my least favorite movie of the year. A movie I generally hate. Where the Crawdads Sing, another murder mystery. Um, this is my most hated movie of the year. To say the story is a complete mess is an understatement. None of the characters are interesting or likable. There's no mystery, and the ending is fucking horrible, stupid. To give you a simple run through, the girl who grew up in a broken home grows up and lives alone in a swamp. She meets a comically over the top villain, and I mean really comically over the top. No joke. He may as well have been like twirling a Dick Dastardly mustache, going, "Hey, I'm the rapist. I'm gonna pretend to be nice, but I'm really a rapist." Anyway, comically comical villain ends up dead, and the girl is accused. Eventually, she is found not guilty because of her tight alibi. Like, no joke, it would be impossible for her to commit this crime. They did a really good job of making sure she didn't commit this crime. Anyway, in the twist ending, she really is the murderer. Fuck this movie, just fuck it. I hate it. I hate the crawdad scene. Oh my god, I forgot all about this movie. This movie might actually be worse than when they crawdad scene. Um, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This movie's so bad I wiped it from my mind, but I completely watched it. It was it was bad, like bad. Um, yeah, it's like a sequel to the first one or second one. Like, I think they might have tried done the. I don't know. It was just bad. They have the character back from the first one. Obviously, the actress isn't there because I think she died, so they got another actress to play her. But the character's back. Um, by the character, I mean the lady who survived the first one. This movie is a fucking mess with its messaging. So much so the producer and director are like, no, man, it's like open with the interpretation, even though some of the interpretations pretty solid ideas. Like, but it's all open. Like, yeah, it's written and directed by two nobodies. um, it is very anti like fucking influencer to the point where it's like smacking you over the head with it, and you get really annoyed. And like, this movie is obviously young people bad, Gen Z bad, blah blah blah, influencers bad. So much so that it has the worst fucking scene in fucking movie history. Basically, Leatherface is on a bus full of like influencers and streamers, and they all got their phones out streaming to Instagram. One of them's like, "If you try anything, I'm gonna fucking cancel you, bro." And I nearly threw my remote at the TV screen after that. I, I think I stormed out of my room. I was so angry at that line. Anyway, this movie sucks. Alright, so now we're moving on to movies that were solid. Like, they were movies that I enjoyed, but weren't quite in the top echelon. In no way are they bad movies. Like, I enjoy them. They're enjoyable watch. I might watch them again. They're enjoyable. There are 9 or 10 films in this category, and I'm not going to go through them individually because I don't have much say on most of them. So I've just lumped some of them together, and I'll talk about the more interesting films. Alright, so the first lump of films in this category is all the superhero films. So Doctor Strange, The Batman, Thor, and Black Panther, all lumped together. I have nothing much to say about these films. They're all solid films, enjoyable watches. I enjoyed watching them. If you're a comic book fan, you probably enjoy watching them. My favorite is Batman because it's probably the most faithful adaptation to comic book Batman so far, in that he's actually investigating stuff rather than just passively reacting to stuff. So yeah, we're all solid films. Next two films are what I like to call just action films with like ever since John Wick, you could even trace this back to like the Raid movies. There's just been action film after action film. We get like one a year, which is sort of like just generic story, really good fight scenes. Two this year are Bullet Train and Violent Night. Bullet Train's more or less than a John Wick like film because it's more character driven. But yeah, they're both enjoyable. I don't have much saying with it. But yeah, both films have fun watches. They're fun films. All right, on to the next one. All right, my next film that I'm actually going to talk about is 3,000 Years of Longing, a George Miller film that fucking bombed at on the box office. It was fucking destroyed at the box office, which is a shame because it's a very good film. I really enjoyed this film. It basically tells the story of a genie telling the professor the history. The genie played by Idris Miller. The professor's played by Tilda Swinton, I think. By the top of my head, I should have probably written it down. Yeah, Tilda Swinton. Yeah, it's a solid film. I really enjoyed both. Really enjoyed this film. Both Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton are amazing in the film. George Miller does a fantastic job with his directing. Oh, sorry, yeah, I didn't finish that. Yeah, it tells the professor history of his love life. Yeah. The only problem with this film is beginning a bit of a drag. Like, you get introduced to Professor character, but that probably you could have probably shaved 5-10 minutes off that, and just had a quick transition, quick introduction with all her quirks into meeting Idris. And the ending is rushed. Like, he's finished telling the stories. Oh, we're in love in London. The end. But yeah, it's an enjoyable watch, and I wish it did better at the box office because we need more George Miller films in our lives. The next film is the third murder mystery film I watched this year. See How They Run. Unlike Death on the Nile, See How They Run has a really good is a really good murder mystery film. The characters are really enjoyable, especially Sam Rockwell and Savoroni Ronan. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She's from like Lady Bird and that lesbian movie with Kate Winslet. um, the relationship between the two characters is a lot of fun, and they play off each other really well. The only problem is the murder mystery part of the film isn't interesting. I know I'm saying this murder mystery film is fun, but the murder mystery is not interesting. But that's a big difference. Like, you really get caught in by the characters. Like, all the characters are fun, but murder mystery just there isn't much mystery. Um, the mystery isn't horrible. It's just not great either. Overall, the film is a lot of fun, especially at Agatha Christie's house. There's a hostage scene at Agatha Christie's house, and it's just fun watching all the characters trying to work out how to get out of that situation. Yeah. So the last film in this category is next one is X. X is a good film, but unfortunately falls short because of hype. I watched this film late in the year, rather when it first came out. So if I watched it when it first came out, I might have had more excitement watching this film. But yeah, because everyone just kept hyping it up, like online hype, and a couple of my mates were hyping up to me, so I was like, "Ooh, this must be really good," and it was good, but it wasn't like, yeah. In no way I'm saying this film is bad. However, it's just at no fault of the movie. At no fault of the movie, it just got hyped up. I didn't. Yeah, so I didn't watch this movie until December. So X was hyped up too much that unless it was amazeballs, it was always going to fall short. I did enjoy it and the whole vibe to the film, the whole um 60s, 70s vibe, I reckon. And the whole porn like vibe to it was very interesting. Um, and all the actresses and actors were great. It just wasn't there for me. I still enjoyed it though. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the films I deem excellent, basically my favourite films of the year. And the first film in this category is Nope. Yep, Nope. I love Nope. Nope is amazing and might be my favourite Jordan Peele film. Between that and Us, Jordan Peele's amazing. Um, the film has an amazing look, feel. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. There are multiple messages and meanings that you could pull out of the film, which is always a good example of a great film. You could pull out like exploitation of animals, child stars, just a lot of messages. Really awesome. The performances were amazing. The monster jean jacket was both creepy and terrifying in design. The monster sucks you up and you slowly digest, and it slowly digests you for hours into your bones. At one point in the film, you hear like people still screaming inside jean jacket, and after hours after they got sucked up, and it was just like very terrifying. Um, it also has one of the most tragic characters in movie history, Mary Jo Elliott. A character who obviously was based on Carla Nash. If you don't know, Carla Nash was, I think, a babysitter who was mauled by an ape. Is an actor who was brutally attacked and permanently deformed by a monkey on a sitcom she worked on. It was the same sitcom Steven Yeun's character was on. She eventually makes a public appearance at Steven Yeun's character's show involving Jean Jacket, only be brutally devoured by Jean Jacket along with everyone else in the show. That show was disturbing and horrific because there was a bunch of kids and parents who had no idea what the show was about. You had obviously Mary Jo, and yeah, they all just get devoured for hours, all because they went to because Stephen Yeun's character thinks he has a special connection with aliens. Um, it was no joke. That show was one of the most horrific and disturbing things I've seen on film, and I've seen Artemis Fowl twice, from start to finish. That that's so you can take my opinion with a lot of weight. But yeah, Nope is amazing. The next film in this category is The Menu. I love The Menu. It is my favorite this year, my favorite film this year, and just an amazing film. It's the perfect blend of like comedy and horror. It's fantastically shot. Everyone gives an amazing performance, from Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Jordan, and Nicholas Hoult. As with Nope, you can take different messages from the film, from celebrity chefs being too celebrated to the point where they get a cult following, the bastardization of the food industry to the point that dish influences, basically you have too much sway in restaurant success, to someone who obviously is depressed but never received treatment. So he lashes out to random people because he is unhappy. It is just an amazing film. I love The Menu. It was just a great film, and it's directed by guys. Oh, really weird. The last film that guy directed was Mark Molloy is his name. In his last film, he last directed was a 2011 romantic comedy, What's Your Number, starring Anna Faris and Chris Evans. So he made that. I know he did like a bunch of TV. I think he did Game of Thrones and Severance. So yeah, but yeah, it's just funny that his last film he did was a 2011 shitty romantic comedy with Chris Evans and Anna Faris. But yeah, The Menu is just amazing. It is just an amazing, amazing film. All right. The next film is Bones and All. Bones and All is such a great film. I mean, listen to the type of movie it is. Bones and All is a romantic horror coming to age road trip film about two cannibals. Like, how could you not want to see that movie just based on that description? The mains, Taylor Russell and Timmy Chalamet, are amazing, but the true star of the film was Mark Rylance. He is so creepy and unnerving in each scene he is in. He should win all the Oscars, including the technical ones. He's just amazing. My favorite thing about Bones and All is the amount of people who thought that this was either a romantic drama or a romantic thriller mystery. Because the trailer gives off a mystery vibe. It doesn't really get into the cannibal stuff. And you're looking at the poster right now. If you look at it, if you're an old person, you just look at posters, you think, oh, this might be a lovely love story. Yeah. But yeah, when I went to see it, there was a young couple and two old ladies walked out of the film in the first 10 minutes when the first cannibal instance happens. Like, first 10 minutes, it doesn't give any hint it's a cannibal movie. It's like the main lead, Taylor Russell, she sneaks out of her parents' place, her dad's place, and goes to this girl's slumber party. Around at a table, she starts sucking on the thing, and you think, oh, this is like setting up a romantic story between the two. And then suddenly the other girl starts screaming, and she just degloves her finger, and you're like, oh shit, this is a cannibal film. But yeah, the young couple were like googling the movie, and then like the man showing the girl her phone, and she just shakes her head, and they just walk out, and two old ladies sort of like cover her face when the cannibal stuff started happening. They just turned at each other, and they both left. So yeah, but yeah, Bones and All is a great film. Next film is the final murder mystery film, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. I wish it was just called Glass Onion, but I think Rian Johnson says that's a Netflix decision. which yeah. Glass Onion, the sequel to Knives Out, takes everything but great about the first film and amplifies it to 10. Everyone gives a fantastic performance. Daniel Craig, Dave Bautista, I'm blanking on his name. Shit. I'm going to sound like an idiot. I'm blanking on his name. I'm blanking on his name. Edward Norton. I'm an idiot. Catherine Hahn, Leslie Odom Jr. It was good to see Leslie Odom Jr. in a film. I think this is the first thing I've seen him since Hamilton. Yeah, and Kate Hudson. They're just all amazing. Yeah. The film was also hilarious. It's like really funny. It takes everything I like about see how they run, about the characters and how they interact with each other, and it adds on top of interesting and intense murder mystery. The scene where the murder happens. I know I said there were spoilers, but I'm trying not to spoil it. Is really intense and really exciting because you don't know when the murder is going to happen. You think you know who's it going to happen to, but there's a twist, and it's just amazing. Yeah, cannot recommend this film enough. The final film in this end the year summary is The Banshees of Inisherin. I have butchered that name. I'm sorry to every Irish person who watches this video. The film is a film I saw 2 days before the end of the year, and my god, it did the end on a massive high. I'm just going to call the film The Banshees. The Banshees is the latest film by Martin McDowell, director and writer of Three Billboards, Seven Psychopaths. I haven't seen Into the Burgess yet, but I heard it's really good, so I'm going to watch that sometime this year. Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, Kerry Condon, Barry Keoghan all give fantastic performances. Like Nope, which blends comedy and horror together. This film perfectly blends it together. Blends comedy and drama. It is such an amazing film. It touches on loneliness and mental health and in such a dark comedic fashion. If Menu was my number one film here, Banshees is 1A. It is just such a great film. Especially Colin Farrell. Like, he was amazing in it. It's probably his best performance ever. Barry Keoghan was also amazing. Like, his character, played by anyone else, he'll come off as creepy, but the character isn't actually creepy. Like, the character has a lot of fucked up shit happen to him that you learn about later in the film. You understand why he acts the way he does. Because he was abused sexually and violently and mentally by his father. So, yeah, and Barry Keoghan makes you feel like really sorry for that guy. Yeah, it's just an amazing film. And yeah, could not recommend it anymore. Well, yeah, that's it. That's my 2020 movie wrapped. I generally enjoyed making this video. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed talking about movies. My plan this year is actually to start making movie reviews of movies I see for the first time this year. So there'll be new movies that come out and movies from last couple of years. I have a list of films. I'm a big fan of Red Letter Media, and I went through their catch-ups where they talk about smaller films and interesting films rather than their big budget films. I enjoy those videos the most because I enjoy them talking about the smaller indie films they see. And I just made a list of all the things I didn't see from those videos. So my goal is to work through that list, and I might write reviews about more interesting ones. But yeah, and every new movie I see, I'll make reviews. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.